This event happened last week. I was heading to my apartment after seeing a friend. I took the tramway at 11:30 p.m. because I didn't feel comfortable walking at night. As soon as I sat, a man who was already sitting nearby came and sat in front of me. I had a very strange feeling about it, so I told my boyfriend by chat. Then I stood up to get out of the tram, but the man quickly got out after me. He was weirdly following me, not walking behind me but next to me. I was getting very anxious, knowing something was wrong, so I continued to walk to the avenue I live in. I crossed the road, and he didn't, so I thought it was okay, but a few seconds after, he crossed the road too, and was walking behind me. Then he passed me, and was walking in front of me now, so I thought I was just getting paranoid, and that he was just walking his way too. But near my building, he stopped and waited until I met him. He asked me if I had a boyfriend and all. I answered, "Yes, sorry, good evening," as polite as I can be. He proceeded to leave in front of me, so I was walking slower for him to be far from me and to make sure he didn't know I was almost home. I turned into the little pathway heading to the lobby of my building, but I was still anxious about this man, even though he continued to walk. I thought I had put my keys in my pocket, but they were in my bag. I was shaking so much that I tried multiple times to grab them. I managed to get them, and I opened the magnetic door, but thought of closing the door immediately after me in case that the man wanted to follow me. The door was closed, but the magnetic system wasn't on yet, and that the man was running to it and pushed it violently with horrific eyes looking into mine. That's when I knew I was getting in real trouble, so without even thinking, I screamed as much as I can, and I think that's what saved my life. Immediately, the man ran to me, pushed me hard on the ground, and started to choke me really hard. I was too stunned because I wasn't prepared for such a violent attack. While he was choking me, I couldn't scream at all or even breathe, and nobody was coming. So I really thought I was going to die, looking into his bulging eyes staring directly into mine with pure hate. I'm a small size, so I wasn't able to do something with my arms at all. I think it wasn't that long, but it felt like an eternity, and I lost consciousness for a moment. When I opened my eyes again, he had just ran out, and I saw the caretaker's wife besides me. The caretaker was chasing after the man, but didn't manage to catch him. He came back and called the police that caught the man within 10 minutes, thanks to our description. I don't know why he did that to me because when he attacked me, he didn't sexually assault me or anything, which could have been easy. I can't understand that his only goal was to kill. I'll never be thankful enough to my caretaker who came to me and helped me and saved my life, because nobody else in the building called the police or tried to help. The man was judged 3 days later and is in jail now, but denied everything, even if me and the caretaker identified him and that there are video proof of him following me. A couple of months ago, I was with my friend and we were about to smoke it up. He lives in a nice middle to upper class suburb, decently expensive houses and relatively safe. Or so we thought. Now it was around 7 p.m. and although it seems early, at this time it was completely pitch black where we lived. We parked off to the side of the road, about 5 minutes from his house. We were going to head over to a playground across the road to do it because he lives with his family and, well, we weren't allowed to be doing this. The streetlights were really dim so you could barely see anything, and we were walking up on the pathway when my friend turns around and said, "Hey yo, what's up with this guy?" I was pretty confused at first, and when I turned around and about 15 meters away is this hooded figure, muscular. I can only make out his figure coming from the same path we just took. I couldn't see his face. Keep in mind that we're at a playground, It's completely dark and far enough from the streets that we won't be seen by other people. At this point, we're just frozen, and my friend calls out, "What's up, man?" No response. Suddenly, he starts lightly jogging towards us, and that's when I see him rolling up his right sleeve. At this point, my friend is still frozen, but my adrenaline was pumping, so I say run, and we bolted down as fast as we could back to a main road, and don't stop until we're near his house. He didn't chase us. The thing that shook me up the most was that we didn't know his motives. He could have been following my friend's car since we parked, and the fact that he literally said nothing when we called out to him scared the heck out of me. Most likely he was on drugs, but we don't know if he had a knife, or if he was trying to intimidate us, or anything. The only reason we even saw him was because my friend looked back. If he hadn't done that, no clue what could have gone down. I've had people try to mug me before, but this guy was completely unhinged. So, for context, I was in my junior year of high school, and on October 12th, 2018, me and my mom, both my aunts, my grandma, and my grandpa went up to Wisconsin Dells for the weekend. We were staying at the Black Hawk Motel in room 11, which I will add is on the end of a row of rooms, and part of it faces the road with a window on the side that lets people walk by peek in if the curtains or blinds weren't closed. Anyways, when we first got there, there was a machine in the back of the room I shared with my mom and grandparents. For the sake of the story, I will just call it a humidifier. Like I said, there was a humidifier in the back of the room when we first arrived. We unpacked and did a few things that day. Then we went to the Cracker Barrel for dinner. After dinner, everyone wanted to go to the casino. I was unable to go because I wasn't old enough. However, I would be in less than 3 months. My mom and aunt both dropped me off at the hotel and went on their way to the casino as I went into our room. I grabbed my school iPad that I brought with me and lied on my stomach on our bed and played some games. Then I felt like something was off, so I looked out the window and saw the bright red sign outside. Then I looked slightly to my left to see what was on my TV, then sharply to the left. That's when I saw the humidifier was missing. And I immediately started freaking out because I thought someone broke into the room. Not sure why it didn't come to me earlier, but I realized that it could have probably been a hotel employee coming to get it. Anyways, I looked everywhere, and then called my mom to let her know what was going on. That's when she told me that her and my aunt were lost and couldn't find the casino. They were in a dark and deserted road surrounded by woods, and my aunt's GPS kept saying to turn right, so they did. The GPS told them to turn right 3 times, and they did for the first 2 times, both leading on to dark roads surrounded by woods like the first one. Then, on the 3rd right turn they had to make, they were like, nope, and did a U-turn. That's when they saw the casino, and were really confused as to how they missed it. To end off my experience, I would just like to add that my mom and aunt almost lost each other, and the car in the parking lot of the casino. Now that I'm home safe, I'm beginning to process what happened, and I don't know if I'll be able to sleep. I had friends from out of state coming into town for the weekend, and we decided to go downtown for drinks. I drove separately because they were coming from an Airbnb. Around 2 a.m., we decided to leave, and my car was parked in a garage a block over from where my friends parked. I say my goodbyes and begin my short walk to the garage. As soon as I hit the corner, 2 large men begin walking out behind me. I try to subtly put space between us. They suddenly whistle loudly and shout, but I don't see anybody ahead. I don't acknowledge and start walking faster. I pass an alley to my left and there's another guy walking out of it towards me. At this point, I'm no longer subtly walking fast. I make it into the garage and I parked by the entrance. so I quickly slipped into my car and locked the door. I turn around to look behind me, and I see the guys that were following me stop at the entrance of the garage and watch my car. They talk for a minute before they spread out and stand across the entrance, blocking the exit. I don't move. I keep watching until other vehicles started coming in, forcing them to move. I take the opportunity to quickly pull out and floor it out of there. I could be paranoid, but my instincts were telling me that something was up as soon as I saw them initially. And now, I can't sleep.